In the history of professional sports, few stories are as spectacular and as tragic as the fall of Antonio Brown. From a sixth-round draft pick to one of the greatest wide receivers the NFL has ever seen, to a cautionary tale that left millions in guaranteed money on the table and a legacy in ruins. This is the story of how one of football's brightest stars imploded in spectacular fashion. July 10, 1988, Antonio Tavares Brown Sr. was born in Miami, Florida, to Eddie Brown, a legendary Arena Football League player nicknamed Touchdown Eddie. Football was in Antonio's blood, but his path to greatness was anything but guaranteed. Despite his talent at Miami Norland High School, Brown wasn't heavily recruited. He ended up at Central Michigan University, where scouts largely ignored him. But Brown had something special, an unmatched work ethic and an unstoppable drive to prove everyone wrong. At Central Michigan, Brown rewrote the record books. He set a school record with 305 career receptions, earned first-team All-American honors twice as a punt returner, and left college with one mission: to dominate the NFL. April 22, 2010, the NFL Draft. Round after round passed with no call for Antonio Brown. Finally, in the sixth round with the 195th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected him. Most sixth-rounders fade into obscurity. Antonio Brown would become a legend. In his first NFL game, Brown returned a kickoff 89 yards for a touchdown. It was a sign of things to come. Over the next 9 seasons with Pittsburgh, Brown would transform into the most dominant receiver of his generation. The numbers are staggering: 7 Pro Bowls, 4 consecutive first-team All-Pro selections, league leader in receptions twice, league leader in receiving yards twice, over 11,000 receiving yards in his first 9 seasons, the second fastest to reach that milestone in NFL history. From 2013 to 2018, he averaged over 1,500 yards per season. But Brown wasn't just collecting stats, he was revolutionizing the position. His route running was surgical, his hands were magnetic. His chemistry with quarterback Ben Roethlisberger was telepathic. Antonio Brown wasn't just one of the best receivers in the game, he was the best. By 2017, Brown had signed a massive contract extension worth $68 million. He had everything: money, fame, respect, and a legitimate chance at a Super Bowl ring. He was 29 years old and in his prime, and then everything started to unravel. The first warning signs emerged in 2018. Brown's behavior became increasingly erratic. He began live streaming private team conversations on social media, a massive breach of locker room trust. He missed team meetings. His relationship with Ben Roethlisberger deteriorated. Tensions with head coach Mike Tomlin reached a breaking point. Then came the 2018 season finale. With the Steelers desperately needing a win to make the playoffs, Antonio Brown was mysteriously absent. Reports suggested he skipped practice. The Steelers lost. They missed the playoffs, and Antonio Brown, once the face of the franchise, had become a problem. In February 2019, Brown met with Steelers owner Art Rooney II. They mutually agreed to part ways. After 9 seasons and countless memories, one of the greatest partnerships in NFL history was over. The Pittsburgh Steelers traded Antonio Brown to the Oakland Raiders for a 3rd and 5th round draft pick. Brown received a new contract worth $60 million over 3 years, with $30 million guaranteed. On paper, it was a fresh start. In reality, it was the beginning of a circus that would shock the sports world. Training Camp 2019. Antonio Brown reported to Oakland, and immediately bizarre incidents began piling up. First, frostbite. Brown had undergone cryotherapy treatment without proper footwear and suffered severe frostbite on his feet. He was placed on the non-football injury list. When he posted graphic photos of his blistered feet on Instagram, the football world was stunned. Then came the helmet saga. The NFL had banned Brown's preferred helmet model for safety reasons. Brown filed a grievance demanding he be allowed to wear his old helmet. He refused to practice without it. For weeks, the Raiders' star receiver held the team hostage over a helmet. But the chaos was only beginning. In early September, Raiders general manager Mike Mayock fined Antonio Brown $54,000 for missing practice. Brown's response: he posted a photo of the fine letter on Instagram and engaged in a heated confrontation with Mayock, nearly coming to blows with his own GM. Days later, Brown posted a video on YouTube requesting his release from the Raiders, using explicit language towards Mayock and ownership. The Raiders obliged. After never playing a single regular season game for Oakland, Antonio Brown was released on September 7, 2019. He had lasted less than 6 months with the team. Most NFL careers would be over after such a meltdown, but Antonio Brown had a guardian angel, Tom Brady. On September 9, 2019, just 2 days after the Raiders cut him, the New England Patriots signed Antonio Brown to a 1-year, $15 million deal. Bill Belichick, the master of reclamation projects, would try to harness Brown's talent. Brown played 1 game. He caught 4 passes for 56 yards and a touchdown in a Patriots victory. It looked like maybe, just maybe, Belichick's magic was working. Then the allegations surfaced. On September 10th, Brown's former trainer filed a civil lawsuit alleging sexual assault and rape. 3 days later, a second woman accused Brown of sexual misconduct. The NFL launched an investigation. On September 20th, 2019, 11 days after signing him, the New England Patriots released Antonio Brown. In the span of 1 month, Antonio Brown had been released by 2 NFL teams. The $30 million guaranteed from Oakland, gone. The fresh start in New England, over before it began. For months, Antonio Brown was unemployed. The NFL suspended him for 8 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. His once pristine reputation was shattered. Teams stayed away. But in October 2020, opportunity knocked again. Tom Brady, now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, convinced the team to sign Antonio Brown. It was his last chance, and for a while, it looked like redemption. Brown played well, he was humble, he followed the rules, and on February 7, 2021, Antonio Brown achieved what had eluded him his entire career. He won a Super Bowl championship. In the big game, he caught 5 passes, including a touchdown from Tom Brady. After years of chaos, Antonio Brown stood on top of the football world once more. The comeback story was complete. Or so it seemed. The Buccaneers re-signed Brown for the 2021 season, but old patterns returned. In December 2021, reports emerged that Antonio Brown had obtained a fake COVID-19 vaccination card. The NFL suspended him for 3 games. When he returned, tensions with the coaching staff were at an all-time high. Then came January 2nd, 2022, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New York Jets. Third quarter, and Antonio Brown snapped. On the sideline, Brown got into a heated exchange with coaches. Suddenly, he began ripping off his jersey. He threw his gloves into the crowd. He removed his shoulder pads and undershirt. Shirtless, he jogged across the field, waving to fans before running into the tunnel and out of the stadium. The images went viral instantly. Head coach Bruce Arians told reporters he is no longer a Buck. Antonio Brown had quit on his team mid-game on live television with the whole world watching. It was the most bizarre exit in NFL history. 3 days later, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers officially waived him. Antonio Brown's NFL career was over. Let's talk about what Antonio Brown lost. When he was traded to the Raiders in 2019, he had $30 million guaranteed. He earned $138,000 that season. The difference? Nearly $30 million, forfeited due to his behavior. Over his career, Brown signed contracts totaling approximately $80 million. Between fines, voided guarantees, and lost opportunities, he left tens of millions of dollars on the table. But the financial cost pales in comparison to the legacy he destroyed. Antonio Brown should have been a first-ballot Hall of Famer. His statistics demand it. 928 receptions, 12,291 receiving yards, and 83 touchdowns in just 12 seasons. From 2013 to 2018, no receiver was more dominant. But will he make the Hall of Fame? That's now a genuine question. Voters remember not just the catches, but the chaos, the betrayals, the erratic behavior, the burned bridges. Where is he now? After football, Antonio Brown attempted to reinvent himself. In 2023, he became the majority owner of the Albany Empire, a team in the National Arena League. It seemed like a chance to stay connected to football and build a new legacy. The Empire folded within the same year. Since leaving the NFL, Brown has remained a controversial figure on social media, often making headlines for all the wrong reasons. He's attempted music careers, podcasting, and public appearances, but the shadow of his downfall follows him everywhere. So what happened to Antonio Brown? Some point to mental health struggles, others cite ego, immaturity, or the corrupting influence of fame. Many believe the repeated head trauma from football may have played a role. CTE is a brutal reality for NFL players. The truth is likely a combination of all these factors, but one thing is clear. Antonio Brown had everything: talent, opportunity, money, fame, and he